Hey traders, welcome back to the FXE YouTube channel. Today I'm going to do a quick recap of the recent price action. We had some interesting things that have happened recently. Let me go to the daily first. So on the daily you can see we created a lower low. We came down yesterday and you can see we're starting to pull back now. We're still reacting off this daily demand area, and we still haven't broken the weekly range low. So there is a possibility we get a bigger pullback here, or potential reversal. But to be completely honest, I'm more inclined to look for shorts. I'm seeing this more as a short-term pullback. Could last the rest of the day and maybe continue next week as well. But eventually, when specific levels are hit, I'll be looking for shorts. Let's go down to the 1 hour. So on the 1 hour, what you can see is if we look at the last leg, we pulled back already into premium. I don't think we're going to reverse here. I think we still have a little ways to go. Mainly because there is resting liquidity. You can see we've come down and taken this trendline liquidity, quite a bit of it up to now. But I can see price continuing up and taking all this liquidity before reversing, and that'll still be in the OTE area. So it could be a prime area to look for reversals if it wants to reverse from this leg. But we do still have the bigger overall leg, and for that we have a ways to go before we get into OTE. And then one other area that I'm looking at, this could be more of a long-term target if we get that big of a reversal. I'm not so sure. We don't have really much news today other than CPI for Germany. There's no US news, so I really can't see any strong catalyst to really drive the price up. But who knows? You never know. So anyways, as I was saying, the first target would be above this liquidity, and the second target would be above this liquidity. You can see we have equal highs resting all across this area, and we also have that daily fair value gap above it. So this would be the ideal area to look for a price to come into and to reverse from. But as we are in an overall bigger leg, I mean, it could just continue up for a few days and come back to this daily fair value gap as well. Fill that in and maybe into OT and reverse from there. But short term, what I'll be looking for is if we get short setups, it'll be above this liquidity and above this liquidity. And one other thing I wanted to mention, I don't know what I was thinking yesterday about potential long scenarios, because looking at it now, it just makes so much sense. We had this resting liquidity right here, and liquidity gets swept before we have any major pullbacks or reversals. That is a must. So why I was thinking that maybe we have a reversal from here when we only wick below it wasn't a wise idea. But seeing what's happened now, okay, we had a clear sweep of liquidity. We had a huge initial reaction, pull back to take longs. Fortunately, I was able to get into a long, and I've been taking the price all the way up, but hopefully it'll get to my targets, which will be this liquidity point right here. I've already taken some profits, actually 2 or 3 TPs I've already taken. I only have like 15 or 20% left on the trade. But yeah, anyways, I would like to see continuation up above this one, this liquidity point, and above this liquidity point if we see shorts today. But at the same time, if we see London come down, let me go to the 15 minute. If we see London come down and react off something like this, where we have a clear demand zone with a fair value gap right above it, I'll be looking for longs. So again, in the next 1 to 2 hours before Frankfurt, if we continue to push down and in this area we start to have a reaction and shift, then I'll start to look for longs to take the price up. But ideally, I would like to see continuation and then just a reversal to come back down. That'll be a lot easier to trade. I want to quickly go to DXY as well today. So on DXY, the liquidity levels are a lot clear. So we have the equal lows here. That's clearly the first target that price should come to. There's a fair value gap right below it. So price could easily come into that draw on liquidity and reverse from there. But we also have the bigger daily fair value gap a little lower, and you can see we have a lot of trendline liquidity resting right here. So I could easily see price come into that area as well. Use this as a draw on liquidity, and then shift and reverse from there. We're currently reacting off the daily volume imbalance from a long time ago. Let me just go to daily really quick. So this daily volume imbalance was there from March, the beginning of March. So we're just tapping into it right now, and that's essentially where we're reacting off of. So initial reaction off the volume imbalance, but ultimately I'd like to see it filled. So we'll probably have that first initial pullback, either to clear the liquidity here or come down deeper in the daily fair value gap before reversing and coming up. And if this is a bigger market maker sell model, then potentially it can come down a lot lower before pushing back up. Yeah. A lot of liquidity resting here as well. So if it's a bigger move, then potentially it can come all the way down here. But for now, I'm just looking for short-term plays to see if price comes into the liquidity points that are close by, to look for potential reversals to take the price up. But like I said, it all depends on what happens in the next couple hours, because we just could get a pullback into one of these areas, like this demand zone, where it starts to react off right before Frankfurt open, and that would be an ideal area to look for longs. Okay, anyways, that's it from me today. Wish you guys a really good trading day today to end the week, but it is Friday, so be careful, and have a good weekend. I'll see you for the weekend video. Peace.
Hey, you made it to the very end. Thanks for that.
if you could do me one more favor and click the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, it'll allow the YouTube algos to kick in and help this channel grow. Thanks again. Cheers.